Okay, we got an attempted assassination on President Trump, or should I say another attempt. Every time my wife comes to me and says they shot at Trump, they shot at Trump, I'm like, hey, it's Shark Week, right? I'll look at it later because this seems to happen like once a month. This time it's at the White House Correspondents Dinner. We have a lockdown, panic, Secret Service evacuation. They take JD Vance first. I'll explain that one in a moment. And before anybody knows anything that happened, the internet is already halfway through writing its own version of the story. No pause, no breath, no instant theories. And then, right in the middle of all the chaos, you open your phone and see this avalanche of posts from big accounts. I'm talking blue check marks everywhere. And all of a sudden, they are all pushing the exact same narrative as to what happened. Of course, it wouldn't be a story without Erica Kirk. Of course, she's there. I'll break it down and tell you what really happened. Welcome to the Joe Rossano Show. Well, folks, you know the old saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to let you take a look at a picture. And not only is it worth 1,000 words, I just want you to let me know in the comments just how funny you think this is, because everyone in the photo, well, pretty much everyone in the photo thinks this is hilarious. So let me pull this up for you. And again, you let me know just how funny you think this is. So here we go. So I got to ask you folks, is this funny? Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, he thinks it's funny. First Lady Melania Trump, she thinks it's funny. Vice President JD Vance, now, of course, they took him out first, so that's probably why he thinks it's funny. President Trump, he gets shot at, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a month, so he probably thinks it's funny at this point. It's not funny, folks. It's tragic. It's tragic. When Ronald Reagan got shot, did anybody think it was funny? The Democrats didn't think it was funny. I mean, again, perhaps there's a joke here, but nobody should be smiling after the president of the United States almost got assassinated. So, yeah, I mean, everyone is smiling. Everyone looks polished. Everyone looks like they're at an award show instead of responding to the darn crisis. And the disconnect, I don't know, folks, it just like punches you right in the face. The room looks calm, the internet looks unhinged, and the truth, well, somewhere in the middle in most cases. I mean, and that's probably why you all watch me, because I tell you the truth. And speaking of which, before I get into why they got JD Vance out of there first, the whole 9 yards, if I could ask you to please kindly subscribe, like, share with your friends. That's a big one, and I really appreciate that. Comment. I am here every Thursday, youtube.com at the Joe Rossano Show, live show. I answer your questions. I respond to your comments. Don't forget to click the notification bell for all latest episodes of the Joe Rossano Show. This is the moment people start going, okay, what exactly am I looking for here? So an incident happens, you got a lockdown, you got an evacuation. So JD Vance, I'm going to explain this to everyone like we're all 5-year-olds here. You have an assassination attempt on the president of the United States. Now, if the president of the United States and the vice president of the United States are in the same room, it is Secret Service protocol to first secure the vice president for this reason. They always look at worst case scenario. An assassination attempt on the president, they're going to consider that the president was hit, that the president was killed, and the first thing they want to do is secure the vice president of the United States. That's why they took JD Vance out first. It wasn't a conspiracy. All right, it wasn't Israel. It wasn't, hey, everybody wants Vance to be president. They want Trump gone. That is not what happened. That's protocol. And now, what are you going to see, or what have you seen online? It's staged. It's staged. It has to be staged. AI images everywhere. All right. And they're showing up everywhere like it's evidence. There's a foreign influence. There's influencers saying, hey, it's Israel, right? It's the Epstein files. Let's divert our attention from Iran. This is staged. Trump has bad poll numbers. So let's stage an assassination so everybody likes him again. Wrong info was spreading faster than the corrections. Candace Owens, I don't want to shock you, she weighed in, of course, questioning the timelines and the whole setup. Baron Coleman, her cohort, her second in command, pointing at missing moments and weird sequencing. Then, folks, I don't want to shock anybody. I want everybody to take it easy here. Then the ballroom tweets. Let me show you these. I think there's a psyop out there. Really, you're going to like these. Let you take a look at the tweets. You tell me if this surprises any of you. So here's the tweets. Andrew Colvett, TPUSA. This is why President Trump needs to build the White House ballroom. Libs of TikTok. This is why we need Trump's ballroom. All right. And where's my favorite? Oh, Meghan McCain. Let me see if I can. Here we go. I don't want to hear one more effing criticism of Trump's new ballroom at the White House. So now, folks, it's the ballroom now, right? Everybody. It's everybody. Let's see. You got Tom Fenton. Tonight is one more reason for the new White House Trump ballroom. And it's always the Trump ballroom. You ever notice that? You remember when it was going to be called the Trump Force instead of the Space Force? I'm sorry. Again, this isn't funny, but I got to tell you, folks, I just can't stop laughing. I really can't. Look, we had yet another assassination attempt on the president of the United States. So let me clear up the conspiracy here. That person did not go in there to assassinate Melania Trump. All right. They weren't in there to get Erica Kirk. And I got to tell you, I understand you have guests, but what is Erica Kirk doing at every event that Trump has anything to do with? Seriously. Really, she's at the State of the Union, standing ovation. I got that. Charlie was assassinated. Now she's at the White House Correspondents Dinner. Erica, 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 Erica. And now that's going to give Candace Owens and Baron Coleman just another reason to go on today and go, Erica. So we'll see. All right. And again, these ballroom tweets. I'm telling you, am I that smart? I knew that was coming. I really, really did. I knew without even looking at Twitter that people were going to say, this is why we should have the ballroom. And then Trump himself, of course, said, well, this is why we should have the ballroom. So nobody else gets shot at. Again, chaos at the White House Correspondents Dinner. What happened when everybody just showed up and made fun of each other? I got to tell you, sometimes I really wish that politics would just go back to normal, where they just kind of like ripped us all off in private and just, I don't know, the 24-hour news cycle wasn't in our faces, and we didn't have a bunch of internet sleuths, a bunch of people who act like they know what they're talking about when they don't know what they're talking about. They really, really don't. Here's the thing. The incident, folks, it's one story. The reaction is a completely different one. And the gap between those two stories is where people get stuck. You got a published presser. Looks like nothing happened. You got a timeline full of influencers pushing the same talking point. You got social feeds melting down in real time. And you got regular people, the folks, trying to figure out who's actually giving them something real right here. So I ask you again, please subscribe, like, share, comment, click the notification bell, all that stuff. We really appreciate that because, I come on here just like I did today, give you something real. No, JD Vance was not removed first because of some kind of Israel conspiracy or some kind of, I don't know. We just want Trump out of there. We like Vance conspiracy, or it's TPUSA, or Erica was there and she's his handler. None of that. JD Vance, just because of normal Secret Service protocol, they secure the vice president of the United States when the president and the vice president are in the same room, just in case the president got shot and was killed. Boom, done, easy. That's why moments like this, they never die. not because people were chasing wild theories, but because the official tone, the online tone, the visual tone, it just doesn't match. Again, you got a bunch of AI pics out there. They're not even real. Okay. It looks like, JD Vance got tackled. Melania got kicked. Erica Kirk is on the phone with her handler. Fox News a cell phone goes out. All right. Now that was planned. That was Russia or China or somebody trying to shut them up. Another conspiracy. And the worst part of it, right? If you come on like me and say, hey, maybe there's another side to that story. I'm part of the cover up. When those tones don't match, people start asking questions. People start connecting their own dots. People start wondering what they're being told, not out of paranoia, but because the second the internet got involved, coupled with the fact that the government on both sides of the aisle think we are flipping stupid. Once that happens, the truth isn't walking into a calm room. It's walking into a room full of cameras, tweets, smiles, narratives, all fighting each other. So all day long, let me tell you what's going to happen here. You're going to hear theory after theory, cover up story after cover up story. Forget the truth. Well, the truth is this, as my therapist says, folks, sometimes a banana is just a banana. And in this case, perhaps some crazy motor scooter just went to the dinner to attempt to assassinate the president. Can it just be that simple? Does it have to be a conspiracy? Does it have to be Israel? Does it have to be Erica Kirk, the handler? Does it have to be? Does it have to be, hey, they saved JD Vance first because it was an inside job that they wanted to kill the president? Well, that's debunked. You heard that one here. That was easy enough. So again, my dearest friends, fellow Americans, you have it right there. God bless you. Don't forget to adopt a pet. See you next time.